Nico could be an enabler if you squint. That's true, you know. Look at that. We said we only have one Daken enabler. Just gotta keep the faith, gamers. How am I winning my second lane is the question. I think I'm doing this for now. I'm not, we might Prodigy Invisible Woman, but we might also be Prodigying Daken. Depending on how our turns line up here. Hey, Jace. Yes, 100 bits is $1. Thank you for the support. Okay, so I think I do this. And then next turn, I go Prodigy plus play the shard. And then Prodigy copies this, then Bullseye discards this shard. And then Invisible Woman cranks both of these up a good bit. And then ever leave the center open in case drawing Nico move. That's so narrow. All right, Wolverine, don't be a fascist. Don't jump to the right. Center or left, bud. Thank you. Oh, we don't have enough energy. Rip. That was gonna be so good, except I played the Havoc last turn. If we would have been able to do this, we would have had 4 of these. That's so sad. That's fine. I think we're still good here. I guess, do we die to a big null? We might die to a big null. I don't actually know. We'll let Broad sort it out here. I'm getting a decent amount of points, right? My Daken is going to 16, and this is 12, and this is 12. Are you better off not playing out a shard? I need to play out 2 cards for Athena to gain 6. Oh yeah, we beat that. We beat that by a lot. Thankfully, the way Prodigy works out here, he's still copying Daken. Okay, I mean, this was like not remotely an ideal draw, and we ended up with 52 points total, which is not like nuts, but it's a very respectable amount of stats, especially considering a lot of our bigger numbers here weren't like Shanga Ball, and they were resilient to things like Shadow King as well. What do we think of eating, Pedro? We'll just keep it between him and Nico. We won't tell Sue. I think we snap, right? And it's not even on the draw. We go Daken into Frigga the Daken into Bullseye into second Daken, right? Sounds great. Oh. Location rerolls are always a little scary. It's a shame we're not going to be able to Moon Girl and Daken on the last turn. Yeah, opponent confirmed a monster. Could have reset Dream Dimension and declined. Yeah, if they would have gotten rid of Dream Dimension, we would have been able to Bullseye and Daken on 5 with the Quinjet. It would have been sick. Alas, doing fun things was not meant to be. Yeah, opponent didn't know they would have once in future when they chose to leave Dream Dimension. Oh, wait! The Quinjet means I can Daken and Moon Girl, right? Yeah. Oh, but that actually doesn't matter. Because Daken Shard here, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I needed one more card out of my hand in order to be able to Moon Girl a Shard. Oh, I think it's just this. We keep him honest on the right. There's no reason to play Theta out. I'm really surprised at the person who was boomer sapping me, or is boomer sapping me after they got salty with the emotes earlier. I wish you knew how many things were destroyed. Death could be a kink here for sure. I'm gonna stay just because I mostly don't care. That is one of the snaps of all time. One of the snaps of all time. Right there, video gamers. The old boomer snapping to get casseroled. Yep. Handshake Chi, Chad. How could they lose? Jeff Hogland said Shang-Chi is unfair and needs to be nerfed. Hey, Rad, thanks for the tip. Is there anything we could do with OTA stuff with Big Bad's Red? I think I said I had the title taking sweet viewer decks. I'd prefer to take things that are around the changed cards or more recent card releases, ideally here. A fellow Moon Girl enjoyer. That hand's pretty good. They lost their Moon Girl. I'm gonna snap. This one is both. I agree, Travis. This one qualifies for sweet. I think I'm gonna bullseye first here, so that way, we're playing a schmear. It's a schmear match after all. It's a schmear match after all. I think I'm doing this, so that way we can draw cards next turn. And actually, I'm gonna give the Nico Minara, right? That sounds fine. This means I can't Frigga the Daken if I draw it, but I think I want to draw cards. Yeah, Nico had said if I draw exactly Frigga. Fuck you, game. And watch Moon Girl be the literal bottom card of our deck. So the draw doesn't matter. Okay, so we ideally we draw Havoc Moon Girl here. So that way we could drop Havoc on the Nexus and Moon Girl to double our shard. Well, there's only gonna be one card left in our deck. All right, Havoc, come on, bud. Actually, just confirmed the unluckiest SOB you'll ever meet. Yeah, us have. We're probably still good here. Havoc's only 3 more points than Moon Girl. My opponent retreated! We should play more Grand Arenas, that way we don't have to play Marvel Retreat. Imagine not getting to do your sweet thing. Couldn't be us. Super Retroid, thanks for the almost 3 years snapping. Gosh, you've been playing this game for a long time, huh? Marty, thank you for the deck submission. What do you got? What do you got for me? Invisible Woman Bass Spice Rack. All right, we can try it. We can do it. Ooh. I think I'm just getting Rocket Raccoon out of my hand, gamers. They're also not playing to Shuri's lab, right? They're probably not playing to here either. Like, it's probably the hub. A lot of their cards, they don't want to play to Shuri's lab because they're like 0 or low power, and they don't want to play Athena to the unknown. I am so smart. SMRT. Do 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 do. I would be super happy to play some Dormammu Red. That sounds fun. If I bullseye, next turn I draw, and then I can Moon Girl copy Daken, and I can play both Dakens on 5 with Quinjet. We also play 2 Invisible Women on 5. Yeah, we could. I think the Frigga means we're on the Daken plan, though, yeah? Because now I can Daken Frigga and then Daken. Thanks to the Quinjet. And the Daken I'm copying is the Daken I'm copying is 8. Too many Dakens on the dance floor. All right, I thought the Daken plan looked a little weird here, but it is a solid secondary plan. Has some synergy with the Moon Girl stuff. I dig it. I dig it. They free-good their Athena. We free-good our Daken. We are not the same. We are not the same. Oh, Invisible Woman. That's adorable. That's totally adorable. No, come back! You're 2 cubes to 10! You can't win! Let me make my number! Let me make my number! The #1 feature Marvel Snap needs more than anything else is let me play out turn 6 to spite my opponent leaving. I don't need any extra cubes. I just want to get to see my numbers go. I just want to do the thing. Marvel Retreat denies so much dopamine. We're at a severe dopamine deficiency this morning, chat. Severe dopamine deficiency. All right, we're looking for bullseye here. If we find a bullseye, we're in a decent spot. Feaster Mantastic, you say? Do I stack points here? So that way we can kill the Athena and Hala? I think so, yeah. And actually, do I just do as many points as possible? I just like play the Daken this turn? Yeah, locations go left to right, and locations go before Athena goes. This is a little awkward in that it bricks my draw, but I think killing their Athena is high EV, yeah. Should we copy Sunspot with Prodigy? Oh, yeah, that's probably better, right? It's only one less point, and it's better in the long run. Yeah, I like that. And 6 or 5. The sunspots go after Hala, just like these go after Hala. It's not more points for purposes of murdering whatever they play into Hala. You denied me so much dopamine so this could occur. This is deeply rude. Deeply rude. Yes, opponent activated their invisible and first steps early, trying to save Theta, not understanding the order. Rip to them. All right, we need to roll an advert. We're going to see how far this deck can get into Infinite Conquest when we return. Thanks to the people that have sent in viewer submissions this morning. Don't go anywhere, gamers. If you're watching on YouTube right now, consider tapping the like button. It doesn't cost you anything. It helps the content reach to more people. If you enjoy Marvel Snap stuff, that's a great way for you to help it grow for absolutely nothing out of your own pocket. I think it's time to hop on the bike this morning. Oh. My legs are a little bit sore. We did 11 miles on the actual bike outside last night. It was very, very scary, chat, being out in the world. Oh. Oh no, chat. Speaking of being scary out in the actual world, the vibes market is way down today. Who's harshing the vibe? I need names. Why is the vibe bad this morning? Trinity, thank you for the 14 months. Bad jobs report. Ooh. That's one we can't fix by tacoing, right? How do you fix a bad jobs report? You can't taco on that one. Normally when the vibe gets bad, we taco on whatever insanity. You can lie or blame Biden. Yeah, I guess they can make numbers up, yeah. They fired some people in charge of... Doge fired a bunch of people in charge of collecting certain bits of data, right? Stickman Bond, thank you for the over 2 years. Welcome back. Do the college repayment stuff start today too? I think so. And sometimes soonish. Yeah, the student loan stuff's about to ramp up. The Fed was earlier this week, and they did not cut rates again. But a bad jobs report could change that for the future, right? If the jobs reports are bad, that makes a rate cut more likely for September. All right, Theta is not long for this world, chat. I think she's gonna have to take one for the team here. I think I'm snapping here, because I have Theta into Bullseye the Thena's path, so he's insulated against Red Guardian. Into Moon Girl, my Daken, and then have 2 Dakens. A Lasher Enjoyer. Oh, they're Cerebro too, which means Nidavellir is not good for them. So we're only copying one card, but you always copy from left to right. And then we'll go Daken here, baby land shark here. And then in theory, we could go Daken, prodigy Daken on the last turn. Do I do these here, actually? Because if they storm this now, I'm still able to play last turn. I think I want more points in the center, because they're more likely to be competing here than here. They might just not be able to compete here because of storm. Oh, need duck priority for Shadow King. Yeah, that's a good call. We're gonna successfully do that here. All right, and then they're locked in the middle now, right? So they're cooked. Daken's going 3 times 8, 16, 32. I cannot believe they stayed here. How do you possibly think 16 is winning the center? We should Red Guardian their Sandcastle. Nah, I'm gonna beat them on rate. I'm a pure creature. We're not tech guarding them this morning. Is Mad Thinker cope in this deck? Yeah, probably. Our hand was only super full. I think outside of your Moon Girl turns, you're not really triggering Mad Thinker. Yeah, the opponent didn't have Lucas either. It's another thing that makes that stay pretty bold, huh? This location, not great for the opponent. Not great for the Cerebro 2 deck. Ooh, they sent me back. How good is Ravona in C2? She's fine. Not terrible, but not incredible. Oh my goodness, it's really gonna come down to... It's really gonna come down to the last turn coin flip on this, aren't they? Joke's on you, I was gonna absorb more on Sunspot anyways. I think I have to leave, right? They're a Shadow King deck typically. I'm not gonna make a terrible stay like they did. Yeah, man, we should assume Shadow King is one of their unknown cards until proven otherwise. It's a good piece of advice against Cerebro 2. I don't have, honestly, my hand's okay. I think staying for the Cerebro 2-player snap into 2 unknown locations is generally good. That's pretty terrible for us. I'm gonna do this here because not only is copying this fine, but then they also are red guardianing Frigga instead of Invisible Woman. I need a Athena or a Havoc here. I said some of that little bit of awkwardness of our deck having 2 distinct plans and then drawing half of each of them, right? Like I have Daken with no bullseye and I have Invisible Woman with no. Oh my god, they have a 3rd freaking Red Guardian. Why doesn't this one say created by Nico? I have to leave, right? I just don't have any. I don't have any cards with end of turn effects. Escaped. God, there's so many Russian agents in this game. You'd think it's one of Trump's cabinet meetings. All right, we've got the Daken copy. We just need a bullseye. Remember when you said you didn't want to kick their sandcastle? This is what happens to the nice guys. That's fair. Oh, well, now I wish I would have put this here. Maybe they just don't have... Oh. If they didn't have Red Guardian, we were in an incredible spot. Are we still okay? We're still pretty okay, yeah? Hey, where are they? Where are they shadow kicking me? Got him? Oh no, wait, we're tying the left and then we lose the breaker? No, we're not tying the left. We win the left with Havoc. No, there's a lasher. Shit. Cooked. Cerebro 2 is excellent. I think, honestly, that's a good example of the type of deck that's really good against this type of deck that we're playing. Where, well, let me spend my read boosters really quick and then I'll complete my train of thought. I'll spend a little bit of gold on these, that way we can start upgrading the variant. This type of deck list isn't interacting, so it's really bad against people that are making really solid big numbers, and Cerebro 2 makes more consistent big numbers than this deck does by a pretty reasonable margin, I would wager. Now, that game didn't even really come down to priority, chat. My opponents, we dodged their tech card. We didn't lose that last game because of priority. We lost that last game because my opponent simply had a better rate than we did on the cards that they were putting on the board. They had 24 points on the left and we only had 20. Nothing about that game came down to a tech card or priority because of the coin flip. We had a coin flip because of priority, but we won that and then still lost. I need to take a phone call real quick. I'm gonna roll an ad break. I'll be back in a minute. Chat, this is not financial advice. But if you're ever out there looking for financial advice, my number one recommendation is never use Edward Jones. I've been in the process of trying to pull my money out of my Edward Jones accounts to somewhere else for going on almost 2 months now, and it has just been the biggest giant pain in the ass I have ever experienced. Someone who works in finance, I 100% agree. Yeah, my wife and I had an Edward Jones guy knock on our door almost a decade ago. And to his credit, he got us to start saving a little bit for retirement when we probably wouldn't have thought about it yet, but man, their account fees are so much significantly higher than everything else in the industry. And I've been in the process of moving it to a self-managed account at Schwab. Getting my Roth IRAs out was relatively painless, but moving my business 401k out has been a pain in the ass because of some advice he gave us. Without getting too far into the specifics. Munchlax, thank you for the 21 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Not only does Jones charge a 1% account fee per year, but when I got all of my accounts moved over into my Schwab account and I looked at the funds he had my money in, all of the funds he had my money in for the most part had between 0.3 and 0.5% upkeep costs. For just an extra kick in the dick on top of. Yes, 0.3, not 0.03. What's the annual fee for Schwab? They don't charge you an annual fee if you're self-managing, and if you use one of their advisors, I think it's somewhere between 0.3 and 0.7, depending on what your setup is. It depends on a few things. All right, so we're free-gaying Invisible Woman and then playing Thena here. Never Frigga the Theta and then Prodigy the Invisible Woman. Oh, that was a much better line. Okay, now we're doing this. And then I think we Prodigy Sunspot plus play Nico as a 1 next turn and then double activate these, and these will gain a bunch of power and she'll gain a bunch of power. You play Pokemon Pocket? Yeah, I actually started posting Pokemon Pocket deck highlights again. There's been ones up for the last few days on the Hooglandia Pocket channel. Make sure you ring the bell or whatever over there. Any thoughts on why Cyclops is not allowed a 5th point of power? I have to assume at this point that Scott Summers must have personally pissed in Ben Brode's Cheerios at some point. It's the only reasonable explanation. Okay, so each of these will gain +8, and she's gonna gain +12, doubled on Throne Room, obviously. Because when you have 2 invisible women, they quadruple your end of turn effects. They are so cooked, gamers. Is that intended or a bug? I mean, a double is good. Imagine if there were a fast forward feature. If there were a fast forward feature, I wouldn't get to hear the hi-ya, hi-ya, hi-ya. A buddy that switched jobs and he moved his 401k to Fidelity. The process was so terrible that the only way they'd be able to move his money for them to send him 15 years of accumulation via a check in the mail and then have him deposit it with Fidelity. That man didn't sleep for 10 days. Yeah, that sounds... Wait, how did I lose? Oh, the Marvel Boy triggers got me. Oh, these were cheaper from... These were cheaper from the what's it called? I didn't realize they were soaking 4 here, but they had discounts from what's his name? Yeah. Yeah, Fidelity and Schwab ended up being the 2 places I came down to for moving my stuff to. And Schwab had a local office, which to sound like a little bit of a boomer for a moment, when it comes to moving around the amount of money retirement accounts have in them, I wanted a brick and mortar building to be able to walk into in case I had an actual big problem with something. So they both seemed fine. All right, well that's happening. All right. Operation Lose the Left, or as I like to call it, Corporate Democrats, is certainly in effect here with Havoc in the Oscorp Tower. Whoo! I get to have my cake and eat it too? I probably want to copy... Do I want to copy Daken? Do I want to copy? I want to copy Daken rather than Havoc. What was I gonna say? Someone mentioned Vanguard. Yeah, my wife's work 401ks through Vanguard, and their systems seem good. But Vanguard actually doesn't support small business 401ks. So they were not an option for me personally. I wanted to place that. Could you my small business 401k? Having fully switched to Shadowverse, I don't miss these emotes. Can't say I blame you. I mean, unironically, getting the Havoc back here is kind of fine, yeah? Especially with the bullseye drum. Okay. And then, do I just assume they can't compete on the right and we play hard for the center? Or do we think they're gonna shank me? Do I compete everywhere? Do I assume they think we can't compete here and play for the left? That's probably the play, actually, yeah. They emoted me, so the odds that I get Shang-Chi here are incredibly high. Oh, wow. Wow, that's a super unfortunate beat. We lost because I didn't play center. If I'd have put Pedro in the center so they couldn't Dr. Octopus me, we would have been no, I guess Pedro center doesn't win it, right? Because I'd be another no, we would have won by 1. I would have been +6 on the left. I would have been 19 to 18. All right, I think I'm ready to move on to the next deck. This will be a flip on where the octopus. I don't think they're ever octopusing on the right. I guess they could have octopus center or octopus left, I guess. They're never octopusing right, but yeah, it's a flip where it ends up at. Yeah, I don't know. This deck felt okay when our plans came together. However, it definitely felt like our lack of cohesion was on display in those last couple of games that we played, yeah? Where, like, when we were a half Daken deck or a half Invisible Woman deck, there's like some overlap between the two plans. Like, Moon Girl's good with both, but in general, it definitely felt a little bit clunky in that set of games, having two different plans that mostly didn't synergize together.